for decades, we've predicted that AI will overthrow mankind.
Thank you for coming back to the 12 Days of Cybersecurity. Next is question 4. Will AI take over the world and turn humans into pets? I've seen some robots that are pretty scary.
I, you know, I'll never say never, but I don't think it's likely to happen anytime soon. I think this comes from popular media. It comes from sci-fi, right? The Terminator and the Matrix, and so on and so forth. And we like, I think that comes from a place of fear, and fear comes, like I was saying before, it comes from a lack of knowing or understanding. And the way we counteract this is to educate. So we should be educating, talking about helping people understand what it is. It's a tool. It's a tool right now. Right now, it's a tool, and we use it, and it makes our lives better. I don't know how many reports I've had to write where it's rapidly decreased the amount of work I've had to do. I have a friend who works in environmental science, and she does a lot of environmental reports, NEPA and things like this. And she discovered ChatGPT. I told her about it. She hadn't even heard of it. I was like, and she was like, oh my gosh, this saves me like 70, 80% of the legwork I was doing on these NEPA reports. She just feeds in a form. She says, this is what a NEPA report looks like. Here is all my information. Can you mold this to fit the report? And it does it. So she still has to go behind and, do a final draft and stuff, but it removes a ton of the work, Randy, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it's possible, certainly, but yeah, not for a very long time. And on the education piece, yeah, I think a lot of people, the people who are scared about AI, maybe they're just very forward thinking, but I agree that it's more around a lack of understanding, because there are some things currently that the AI is good at, and some things that machines are bad at, right? So AI is very good at looking smarter than it is. And so just a quick example, I was writing a paper the other day, and it was all about cyber risk, just fixing the industry. And so I was typing, I want to fix cyber risk. And a combination of natural language processing and machine learning, Google suggested fix cyberbullying. When you think about it, right, it's if it's in the right context, people might think, oh my gosh, this machine is so smart. But that's a good example. And I'm not picking on AI, right? I've dug into it, I've researched it, I've taken classes, because the possibilities are endless. But in that particular situation, it showed how context unaware it was, right? I'm sure, because as Troy, you mentioned, these models are fed by the internet, right? Billions and billions of documents. I think ChatGPT was originally trained on 10 billion documents. And I'm sure a lot of people want to fix cyberbullying, which I would too if I had the abilities. But I wanted to fix cyber risk. So the lack of context, I think, and it's suggesting what other people might suggest, just kind of shows how it looks smarter than it is a lot of times. But I think we're a long way away from AI taking over the world, because there are certain things it can't do yet, right? AI, these learning models, they can't recognize bad data, right? They're essentially still, at the end of the day, I think you mentioned this earlier, Troy, they're just machines following instructions. So yeah, just to reiterate what Troy was saying, I agree 100%. Potentially down the road somewhere, but I don't think any of us have to fear it, at least for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that answer does kind of bum me out a little bit, as my dog is sleeping right next to me and has been sleeping all day. And that seems like I wouldn't mind being a pet, but looks like we'll have to wait. What does ChatGPT have to say about that, Lucas?
Yeah, so will AI take over the world and turn humans into pets? The idea of artificial intelligence taking over the world and turning humans into pets is a common theme in science fiction, but it's important to distinguish between speculative fiction and real-world developments. As of my knowledge cutoff in January 2022, there is no evidence to suggest that AI is on path to take over the world in the way depicted in some fictional scenarios. Developing advanced AI systems raises ethical concerns and challenges, including issues related to privacy, security, and the potential impact on employment. However, responsible AI development involves implementing safeguards and ethical guidelines to ensure that AI technologies benefit humanity without causing them harm.
Right. So, not going to be able to sleep all day, Randy. Not yet, at least.
Well, one thing is for sure, ChatGPT is way more eloquent than I am. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
So I think we have a pretty good understanding about AI at this point, and I'd like to make the transition into a little bit more technical security related questions. So